Welcome to the Miami Heat Beast postgame show. I'm your host, Giancarlo Navas, and with me today, and we're going to answer, is the joy back? Kyle Scarlett, is the joy back?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Alex Musibay, is the joy back?
Listen, I got my all-star. The joy is here for me.
The joy is back. Lou, is the joy back? Saucy takes.
I'm back. No, I'm kidding. No, the joy is not back. Did you see what the fuck we had to watch?
Brian Goins, producer and co-founder, is the joy back?
You know, I might not be back in the real NBA on-court action, but off the court on my mock trade deadline lead, it is on backfire, joy, all that good sense. I can't talk.
What
right
the
now.
hell happened?
I'm looking for all the tweets going on right now. I'm trying to do three things at once. I'm trying to make a trade for Giannis and AD and KD right now.
The question was, is the joy back? I didn't ask for all that stuff. Chat.
But I did get Jonathan Kuminga and a first-round pick from Golden State. Plus,
take him out.
Nobody knows what you're talking about. Chat, is the joy back? Chat, is the joy back? Shout out to our YouTube and Twitch audience. Shout out to Letch's Commissioner. Subscribe to Tier 1 for 35 months. And Duncan Robinson is underpaid. Subscribe. Shout out to Vane Hype. Sub to Tier 1 for 48 months. Says the Heat are so fucking back. I don't know what he means by that. Ryan Spravero resubscribed with Prime, 34 months. He said at least the drama might be winding down. Vane Hype gifted a Tier 1 sub to Tyler Hero. Can you give him a?
Gotta hit him one time for the only all-star in the 305. Drip drop.
Appreciate and love you guys and all the support. Any super chats on YouTube, we love that support. And anybody on Twitch, listen, if you have Amazon Prime, !Prime to get a free Amazon will comp your sub. It'll subsidize this show. If you have Amazon Prime, hook it up. Lenny Lester subscribed to Tier 1, 40 months. Said no joy for him. So no joy for Lenny. Guys, you know, Moose, I'll start with you. I thought the first, well, we're gonna start with Jimmy Butler. Obviously his big return today. I think it was pretty anticlimactic, if you will. I thought he played probably a pretty average Jimmy Butler game. It was good. He had picked his spots. At times looked like he didn't want to engage on offense, and other times he decided that he really wanted to engage with offense. Got to the line 4 times, a little low, but it's his first game back. Scored the ball, had a really good third quarter, missed some shots. I thought the defense was okay. I thought the on-ball stuff against Jamal Murray, it was a little slow, but all in all, Moose, I thought he gave a real effort, and it looked like a regular season game in January for him.
Yes.
Literally nothing. Oh my God, this guy fucking moved heaven and earth. And it wasn't like that Indiana and New Orleans game. I thought it was a perfectly adequate cameo for Jimmy Butler.
G, you said it yourself. This was a January regular season game. Don't get me wrong. I was happy to see Jimmy Butler on the court and happy to see him engaged at moments. But the big takeaway from tonight is nothing has changed, people. Not a damn thing. We still have issues with Jimmy. We still had the regular season Jimmy that we've seen. I mean, look, he was trying to make a statement before with that one-legged three and all that. But for the most part, this is what you can expect from regular season Jimmy. He's going to pick his spots and he's going to be engaged. He's going to also have some moments where, you know, he's clearly pulling back. I was a little bit surprised seeing on the timeline, and I'm curious what everyone here was thinking. I was shocked at how many people thought he was going to come out tonight and just not try at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, well, I mean, yeah, I actually, if you're going to put my money on it, I would have thought he would have had like a really great game tonight. But not showing any effort at all, like that's not the hand to play tonight.
Now you don't do the I'm back, the Michael Jordan in the 45 jersey.
Correct.
Jimmy loves. You don't have Bernie Lee put the statement on Twitter in the letterhead like Michael Jordan, I'm back, then put on Instagram in the jersey. You don't do that if you're gonna mail it in. Although if he did that, that would have been very funny.
Jimmy loves the theater and he loves the moment. He was setting himself up tonight, knowing that everybody's watching. So my point was, I'm not expecting Jimmy Butler to just, cash it in. Not this weekend, at least. Give it a few games.
Hey, shout out to Rance Purveyor for the gifted. Love you. He's just OG of this chat, just big showing him love. Kyle, yeah, I think Boost is right, and I like what Easy Money said in chat. He says we need more than adequate. Take it personal, show out, have some pride. I don't know.
It's not wrong.
I thought it's not wrong, but I thought it was. I thought it was fine. There was in that third quarter. I was like, oh, that's the guy. And by the way, their offense good tonight. Just straight up. What did they score? They scored 113. You know what I mean? Perfectly good for this offense. I thought they looked good with Jimmy, and that's that they didn't hit a bunch of open threes that they generated. So I thought literally, I mean, they could have maybe won that game in another universe. Probably not many of them, but Kyle, I thought he was fine.
I think that's maybe the problem is he was just fine. Like, I think to me, if you're gonna put out statement, and I understand the theater aspect. Some of it, to be honest, is probably trolling more than anything else. But if you're gonna do that, I'm expecting some force, especially since you haven't beat this team since the finals. You haven't beat them since 2018. So I was expecting maybe a little more effort, like a little more energy. However, if you just consider, like, he's coming off suspension, the team's been without him for 6 or 7 games. It just felt weird, in my opinion. The game felt weird. Like, they hadn't been playing with him, so it looked different. When Jimmy on the floor, it's going to look different. They aren't going to play the same. There seemed to be some hesitancy, in my opinion. And they just seemed like, we're not going to blame Vaj for this. I think Denver just is a bad matchup for the Heat. They just give them problems in spots where, unless there's some personnel changes, you're just going to get overpowered. I mean, think just what's his name? Aaron Gordon makes, and he didn't start, if I'm correct.
He did not. He's coming back from Aaron Gordon was coming back from injury.
Right.
Quarter. Yeah.
But with him playing, you can kind of see some of the same issues that were glaring when we played him in the finals.
But you know what? And I want to keep this to a Jimmy conversation. I thought when Jimmy was put on him, he did a really good job on Aaron Gordon, right? Yes. And I thought, like, for example, like Jamal Murray was a matchup that he got put on early and he really struggled with. But a guy like Aaron Gordon, who's kind of more plays to his defensive strengths at this age, which is kind of being strong, help early, push guys off his spot. I thought he was effective because when Aaron Gordon came in the game, kind of like you're saying, that second unit absolutely fucking bossed them. And I thought when him and Jimmy shared the floor and Jimmy guarded him instead of Jamal Murray, I thought that Aaron Gordon stuff, obviously part of that was they were better players on the floor that were getting the ball more, but I thought Jimmy did a really good job on Aaron Gordon after that.
Yeah, I think he, I mean, you want it. That's some of what you want to do with Aaron, right? Like Jimmy played it, to your point, played him perfectly. He's not a great shooter. You want to keep him away from the basket. And I think to your point, Jimmy did do a good job of doing that. He was a little less active on defense than I thought he was going to be. I thought that's where we would see him most, not so much offensively, but I thought we would see a little bit more defensively. I think he showed like little spurts here and there where he was active on defense, but it wasn't your typical energy when you've seen him fully engaged on defense. I thought there was a little bit more desire to be desired there.
Lou, what do you think about that on defense? Because I thought the defense was interesting because they moved them around a lot. They didn't play a ton of zone today. They were in man most if not the whole game. And I thought they had him on everybody from Westbrook to Jamal Murray to Aaron Gordon. Did some help defense on Jokic. And I thought it was honestly one of his better showings, but I just think that it was probably still like poor for him.
You talking about like Jimmy defensively or the team in general? Like,
Jimmy. No, the team was atrocious outside of Bam.
Okay.
The team was just, and I want to reiterate, atrocious. And by the way, people in chat saying the offense.
Excuse me?
He was.
No,
bad
he was. Hey, he needs. You can't say that. And today it was.
Listen,
Tyler
All-Star.
He was playing that All-Star defense.
Which, by the way,
today.
chat, Cardinaliano is like, gee, what are you talking about? The offense was bad. they had an 115 offensive rating tonight. That'd be 8th in the league. That's good. Their offense was good tonight.
You know what the issue was?
Their offense was good, and they didn't hit a single fucking three. That's how good their offense was tonight.
You know what the issue was, G? That the offense wasn't good enough to beat Denver's offense.
It wasn't good enough.
Fucking bad.
Yeah,
like
defense can't fucking stop anybody. Or cannot stop Denver.
I didn't think Jimmy was good today defensively. I didn't think he was bad. I thought he was mid. Like somebody put it, I thought it was mid. I thought the scheme sucked defensively. Like they didn't adjust for a long time. At all. They never seem to really switch this scheme up against Denver. They like to stick Bam on Jokic and just like he doesn't really help and he can't do too much things because he's stuck on one person. The issue is everybody else is stuck on their person. So where's the help coming from? That was the whole.
The help was coming from the weak side, and the issue was
Tyler was non-existent. Jovic was
a disaster. But that guy on the weak side, whether it was Brown or whatever, they kept cutting. And I mean, I thought it was really similar to what Jaylen Brown did with the Celtics last playoff series. That corner man on the weak side, that guy, that Miami's low man has to come and rotate over because whether it's Jamal Murray kind of getting penetration or getting or beating his man, whether it's Jokic kind of getting into that free throw line area where now, you know, he takes one dribble and it's a fire drill and that's an easy pass for him. Anytime Denver gets anything a foot in the paint, that low man has to come. And what happens is that they have to come really early because Denver triggers fast. Denver has so many pieces that move. They have so many shooters. And when that guy has to come help early, that's so easy for that guy behind him to cut. And the Celtics did the same thing, whether it was Jason Tatum and it was against zone or whatever. And that guy cuts behind that low man. And that's so easy for a guy like Jokic. And I don't know how many baskets they got off of shit like that.
Yeah. And again, my issue
and that's the adjustment that I agree with. That I'm like, Miami had nothing. They had no answer. And all those low men suck because it's all like you said, Tyler Hero. It's all like bad defenders. It's not PJ Tucker and Kyle Lowry and
or
Caleb
Duncan.
Martin. Yeah. But, or Duncan.
Again, my issue isn't them sending two at the ball or sending weak side help when Jokic has it. My issue is when Jokic is the screen setter and Murray has it. Why are we not digging in? If he's coming attacking your corner, why are we not tagging Jokic and forcing Murray to make the skip? Like there was just, and they had a little run in the third, a little glimpse of hope. And it was when they started switching and Bam started cutting the water off and people started helping and they started forcing, the pass instead of going inside to go outside and they just rotate on time. Like, the whole agenda today is
Denver solved that quick.
I mean,
they made a little run and then,
Yeah, Denver solved it quick. We also subbed everybody out right after. Like, my whole thing is do it earlier. But, I mean, the whole thing today with Jimmy.
I don't disagree with you.
The whole thing today with Jimmy, like what are we supposed to say on here? Like, he literally came into the building today on the floor I'm talking about and looked like nothing happened. Like, it was – do you think there was any ounce of unjoyous basketball or joyous basketball? I didn't see either. It literally looked like you guys said like every other Jimmy Butler January game we have seen.
What's changed, Lou? Not a damn thing.
I'm trying to find out, man. Brian, what's changed, Brian?
No, Brian, you had said, what did Tyler Hero say to the media just now?
So apparently Tyler Hero, according to Ethan, just joked with us saying that Jimmy isn't doing media. I'm trying to tell y'all.
That is so funny.
Listen, he's a leader. He's a leader.
Brian's
he's
literally the press conference correspondent tonight, and Jimmy's not even going to show up. That's funny. Out. I'm sorry. That's just.
I mean, listen. He's really, if we're being honest, he's on the Marshawn Lynch. I'm just here so I don't get fined, right? Like, this is where we're at here. Like, I'm here. I put up. What do you have? 18, 20. I put up some points.
If he does show up, like over under on like what's the first question at the presser? Like, do you have your Joey yet? Like,
it has to be Alex,
back. Like, is that?
It's gonna be Ira Winderman. If it's not,
gonna be Ira, but it should be Alex.
100% it's going to be.
If Alex had any fucking nuts.
Ira Winderman to get the first question odds on FanDuel right now are minus 850.
You know
Easy.
what? I give it to Tim Reynolds.
I give it to Tim Reynolds.
Oh,
I'm telling you, I'm just saying, if I'm a betting man, like I'll take this bet.
That
I'm
says
not
Brendan
gonna lie,
Tobin.
no, I think Moose would get good value on Tim Reynolds, but I think
That's what I'm saying.
Ira's a safe pick.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
that's why he's the heavy favorite. You know,
Ira would. Yeah, so
Ira's gonna get one question, and that's gonna be the only question before somebody looks at him
Lenny
sideways.
Lester in chat says Ira goes, "Did you find your joy tonight, Jimmy?" That'd be badass. That'd be
Honestly,
badass.
the only question I genuinely want to ask Jimmy is, what was the conversation with UD? Because you know UD was in the building today when Jimmy walked in.
I don't think so.
Oh my God. Yes, he was. This is why he's still getting paid from the Miami Heat. For these moments right here, to be in the locker room when Jimmy walks in.
He wasn't there.
Yes, he was.
I doubt that.
I'm doubting it too.
I'll take that bet.
Even Bam is like, they're like, yo,
Hold
people have asked him what happened.
We
Brian?
got a Jimmy update.
Oh, what happened?
Oh, there we go.
According to Ethan, he's in the locker room, I'm assuming. Jimmy asked for a little space. Quote, I know y'all want to talk to me about nothing. That's it.
Insightful.
Apparently he's wearing the Jordan 45 jersey still.
Anthony
Yeah,
Chang
he
also
should
says
take
Of course
that.
he
He
is.
should
No.
take that. He should take
You
that.
know, I have a mixed thing with that Jordan 45 thing. If everybody remembers, Jordan Woodley wasn't that. I mean, they made it to the playoffs, but they were not. He was not Jordan with the 45 on.
That's why he
If it's-
did it, because he's not
That's why-
If
Jimmy.
it's some-
You know, I looked
Then
at
I
to see how
have
many
less
points
issue
he
with it.
scored when he came back after that press release. He only had 19 points.
Jimmy had 18. I'm telling you, hand in hand.
There you go.
He had a goal
There
tonight. He
you
pretty
go.
much hit it.
There you
So
go.
Jimmy is talking to the media. So okay, he's.
I mean,
out
of
there.
course he was going to talk to. He has to talk to the media. It's like in the contract. You have to talk to the media.
It's in the NBA right now, man.
It's just so
Trade,
Brian,
please. I have a question because I feel like today was the most toxic the timeline has been in regards to Jimmy, like this whole player versus team agenda and people needing to feel like they have to pick a side.
I don't know why they.
Why?
This is
Why?
stupid.
Why is that the discourse?
what,
And I'm not calling anybody out, but why are we this? There's people all over Twitter who were just in Jimmy's corner less than 1 month ago, less than 3 weeks ago, were in Jimmy's corner, and things have changed so drastically from their point of view. And I understand it; both sides are to blame here. I'm not here to pick a side, but I'm not here to just say you don't follow the franchise blindly with what they're doing. The player has some say in this, and Jimmy's not entirely at fault. That's all I'm saying. But I've seen a lot of people turn their back on this man who made us relevant for 5 years, and it's just it doesn't sit right with me, G. I think we're better fans than that, and we need to show that.
Nah, but
Also-
he's been that Ramona story today was abominable. It made him look like an asshole. And
It's Ramona Shelburne. Like,
no, but like I mean, those are his people talking to her, and that story, and I think he put that out there to help himself. And I gotta be honest with you, it's the closest I've ever been to like I'm out. He comes off like a dickhead, a bad teammate. Like I was like, I couldn't believe that they volunteered that information. I could not believe it.
G, my whole thing with this is
What information specific, G, are you?
Yeah.
The
like,
stuff
kind of-
about Hero and Bam and like him accusing like him
about the new offense?
kind of giving a roundabout accusation that they did this to fuck with his money, that he didn't, that he believed that he was in a reduced role, like shit like that. And then the quote, if they're doing this to transition to Bam and Tyler, Jimmy's like, fine, do your transition. That's like such fucking bullshit.
like if you put a cat in a corner, they're gonna strike. Like the
That's so
organization
fucked
cornered
up.
him into being like this. Like that's my whole thing.
Bro, like you don't fucking, I don't know, bro. You don't fucking do that to your teammates. You don't do that to your fucking teammates. You leave them out of it. You know what I mean? Like that's the part to me. And by the way, I keep saying when he's fucking played, the offense is good. The offense is like 12th. Like, you know what I mean? So all his fucking whining the defense is a disaster at times, but like, when he was healthy and they were playing, like they were like they're certainly better than they are last year. Even given that they have gotten worse by like losing a bunch of guys and Rozier playing a lot more and Rozier getting even worse than before.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Shout out, by the way, to Roy Blanc. Kyle, you want to read that? That's a super chat. We gotta read it. We gotta read the super chat. I can't read this. Moose can't read this. Luke can't read this, and certainly Brian cannot read this.
Shout out to my nigga Moose. Haven't seen him on here in a minute. Where's the monkey?
That's from Ray Blanc. Thank you, Ray Blanc.
Monkey shoulder is in my drink. Thank you to my friend Ray Blanc.
Appreciate that, Ray.
Drip drop. All right, take me out. Roll
But yeah, Lou.
I feel so uncomfortable right now.
Well, let's just keep it moving. I do want to, if I may, I just want to get on the saucy takes here. I just want to reply to what he was saying. He was a little bit confused. Why is everyone picking a side? I mean this with no disrespect, dude. What do you expect? Like, that's kind of the way that this was always going to go.
Lou?
I meant more to Lou, but kind of both
The
of you.
question in general, I get you.
In general, like, why is anyone surprised that we're here? And I don't mean that disrespectfully, truthfully, but this was always the way, like, whenever there's a breakup, you pick a side. That's just the way it is. And especially with the way, like, the media wants to cover this story and divide the star from the franchise. And truthfully so, like, that's what both sides are trying to do. But that's just the natural discourse that happens when there's this kind of situation with your star player leading a franchise. So it was inevitable. Feel free to jump in, Kyle.
I mean, I think one of the things here is, and this is a threefold thing. For one, if you we're all Heat fans here, so we know that the Heat typically keep everything tied to the vest. They're typically a pretty private organization about things that happen behind a closed door. So the media having an in, finally, of course, they're going to paint this thing where they can throw as much mud as possible and just see what mess lands. And so, especially if you talk about Twitter, most people are not using their brains on there. They just throw stuff out there as well. They just chat. Like, most of the time, it's yapping to see how many clicks they can get. So they're going to say something completely ridiculous, and half of it is trolling. And then the other side of it is also, when you have it be as messy as it's been, I think D-Wade said it the other day, it doesn't need to be this messy, but now it is. It shouldn't be this messy, now it is. And players who have never played for the Heat feel like they should have something to say when they've never won anything. They've never been in an organization that won anything. And so it's messy. And so what happens when something is messy is human beings by nature are messy. And so what they do is they pick up mud and they throw it too. So people are going to pick sides. There are people who feel like Jimmy could have went about this a different way. I agree. And they're going to dump on it. And there are other people who have been waiting for a chance to dump on the organization because they simply just want to complain about it. So that's, I think, where we are is everybody has an opinion and they're going to state their opinion. And it doesn't matter how wrong an opinion is with people. If they say with conviction, they hope you believe it enough. And that's where we're at right now. Like, that's just really the long and short of Heat Twitter right now is, Jimmy could have handled this differently. No, duh. Oh, organization could have made moves. Well, more obvious things could be stated. I just feel like people want to say as much as they possibly can because there's so much mess out here.
Well, and Kyle, just to back up your point, because I know we're going to move on to something else, but I love this topic because I was just having this conversation with my brother. Like, my brother is a casual Heat fan. He watches during the playoffs. He tunes in for like the big games, but he really just keeps up like through the headlines and stuff. And when you are that type of person, and I'm not saying that all of Heat Twitter is, but there is a portion of Heat Twitter that's just the general fan. When you're that kind of person and you're reading the headlines and like, now Jimmy's talking shit about the coach and all that, you get this one-sided point of view, and that is going to lead to a natural divide. And I think that some of that happens with the general fan that only sees the headline and doesn't understand the actual nuances of the full picture.
Brian, Jimmy just said something really interesting in the locker room right now. You wanna share with the class?
I haven't been able to watch the video because obviously I'm doing it. I was wondering if we could share it. We could just watch and react live.
It's the audio's too low.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, okay.
Actually,
like
you
to
know
have
what?
heard
No,
his delivery.
actually, it's not too low. I actually think we can do this. Hold on, wait. Yeah, let's get this video.
I think it's important to watch his delivery.
Yeah,
If we
so the quote that people are latching onto is Jimmy said, quote, "The truth will come out," whatever that means. The truth will come out. So let's see what Jimmy's asked here.
Basketball at this point. I know what I'm expected to do while I'm here. Try to get it done in my ability.
It's really low. There we go.
People keep talking like they.
But I mean, what was the plan going forward when you knew you were coming back? Was this the plan? Did you know you were at 7 games you were going to play tonight? Was that the plan throughout?
I mean that's what they had told me. But it was a lot said by everybody except for me, to tell the truth. So we'll let people keep talking like they know everything, like they have all the answers. And then sooner or later, the whole truth will come out. But until then, we'll continue to let people talk. And if I'm here, I will get out there and play.
You said that. How hard is it to separate fact from fiction for you? Do you even bother doing that when you hear the different things? I mean, is there anything in particular that there's just everything that's been said?
No. I expect for people to talk. Half the reason because don't nobody ever know what I'm really doing, so you just make up stuff, which is fine. And honestly, I really don't pay any attention to it. But I got people telling me, "Oh, they said this, they said that." And it's like it's really all good. I don't have to clear anything up. So, more power to you. Keep talking, and we'll see where we end up.
Jimmy, last time we spoke to you, you said you didn't know if you'd be able to find your joy keep playing here. Has anything changed in the interim, and do you think coming back and getting back out on the court that could potentially change, or are you still the same feeling that you told us to?
I'll Venmo you, Lou.
Say no comments.
What was it like to actually hoop? I mean, to go out and
I've been hooping.
Too late, Tim.
in a game tonight.
Do it, Tim. We got you. We got you.
Let's go.
Minus 850.
His vibe switch as soon as Iris stopped talking.
Oh god, I didn't even hear his answer.
I
I'm
got a
sorry.
problem with these guys. These
He
guys
just said no comment.
are cool. They're my friends. Some of them tapped in. Some of y'all didn't. Don't think I don't know that. My beef not with them and never will be. Never has been. But it did feel good to get out there and play some basketball.
Kevin has tried to make levity of the situation, and you actually liked at least one of the Instagram posts. How important is it to try to laugh a little right now?
I laugh a lot. And look, I
yeah,
tell
we
you,
know.
my happiness off the court is at an all-time high. I got the babies, I got my friends, a lot of dominoes and coffee is involved. And I like Kev, but he's not more petty than I am, and he's giving me a run for my money.
Jimmy, how is it going to be the next couple of weeks, whatever this time
Will
period
Manso's
is?
dominated
Is
the
it
ball
fixable? I mean,
here.
are you going to do? Is this going to be something that every night?
Great performance out of him.
Okay, what's it feel
He's a
like?
pro.
What's going on in the background? I mean, from your perspective,
Y'all the one that asked the questions. I just answer them. So
is it? How about the question? Is it fixable?
It's what fixable.
This situation, the way it is now, and
No comment.
He's good.
Pro's pro.
Avery Hall.
Man, look, not a bald spot on Will Manso. Incredible.
That's it.
Jimmy, what if
Go ahead,
if you're
because I
still,
like you.
thank you. If you're still here for the
Oh, Jimmy. That's going to keep that man going for years.
we are.
All right,
But-
I'm a hoop. That's it.
You'll hoop. All right, thank you.
So the question that he asked was if he's still on the roster by the trade deadline and he hasn't moved, will you still play? And he said, yeah, I'll still hoop.
By the way, that video is courtesy of Ethan Skolnick of 5 Reasons Sports and 5 on the Floor. Check out their Discord server. Ethan
Oh my
and 5
goodness.
Reasons do great work.
Just
Can we
really
talk about
quick.
why he likes Tim Rollins and not Ira Winderman?
Well, that was on my list. I
have a
want to get
theory.
there.
I got a
we
theory.
know. I mean, we know why. We know why.
Right, that's the whole team. It's the whole team. The whole team has the exact same effect.
My
just
question
wanna
is,
say-
No one works harder.
when am
harder
I,
than the grind
when am I going to get my payment? That's my question.
I think Lou deserves some goddamn respect for that.
I was just gonna say the first thing I want to address is Lou. I will Venmo you after the show. Clearly, you got that, Tim Reynolds. You fucking let me down.
Let him
But
know.
the second thing I want to say is, honestly, we gotta give some Will Manso just real quick.
Will Manso,
Incredible. He had the best
Journalism.
question.
Journalism.
The best question throughout the entire interview. And not only that, just dominating the ball the way that he did, but it didn't feel like an ISO thing. Like it just
didn't
felt
feel like
very
Rozier.
natural.
It didn't feel like Rozier at all.
Incredible. Will Manso, the
No.
GOAT.
Very
Shout out.
efficient.
Listen, Will Manso, I'm going to say it, man of the match. Just
Where was
really-
Anthony Chang and all of that? I didn't hear a single word from
Anthony
him.
Chang said that he did tweet out earlier that Kevin Love is working on a new Instagram post. So
Oh boy.
at least Anthony's on the Kevin Love beat right now.
Also, where was Barry Jackson?
I don't know. He's
My-
off today.
Is
Weird
he
day to
actually?
be off for Barry. Yeah, Barry hasn't
Yeah,
tweeted
very
all
weird day.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
just
Well,
take that.
just really quick, my third takeaway, this isn't over. And like I said, after this weekend, all bets are off. I'm ready for anything. I think he's going to play hard on Sunday, but this shit's
Are you
not
going,
over, man.
Moose? Are you going?
Yeah. Oh, are you kidding me? There's no way. Go Spurs, go. I have to go see my
Are you
team.
going? Are you going with Chris? Are we going?
I
I'm
mean,
going
we
with
can
Moose.
talk about this off air, I guess, but sure.
We talked about it like already.
Stefan
It's
Castle.
like we like, it was one of those plans that we made at a bar, and it's like, yeah, we should do this, and then we all said yeah, but then we never followed up.
A bar plan sounds like what both sides have right now. They just talked about it, never followed up, and now we're here.
And now we're here.
We got
Jimmy
Barry
did,
Jackson's tweet.
What did Barry say? Barry's working.
Yeah, Barry's apparently working. He tweeted out in response to Anthony Chang's story, where he put the whole no comment about everything and the truth coming out and stuff. He wrote, Barry Jackson, that also says the truth will come out hopefully about UFOs because I don't think the government has been transparent enough.
Did he say that?
Yeah.
No fucking way.
Talking about being at a bar, Barry Jackson.
Generational run from Barry Jackson. Yeah, he did say that.
Career year. He and I are just hot takes all year, hitting nonstop.
Yeah, what are going on with those drones? Have we figured that out yet?
Is Barry off the ZA?
Spo's been abducted. Honestly, I feel like Spo's been cloned because what we're watching on the court doesn't look like a Spo defense I've seen in years.
I got a question. Did anybody feel like at the beginning of that interview with Jimmy, it felt like he was just really over it? Like
Jimmy
it
was
looked like-
so over it.
And then as the interview progressed, he was like, fuck it, I guess I'll just have some fun and throw some shit out there. And just started like feeding into like different narratives or whatever. But he looked like he was upset. That's my biggest takeaway. It looks like he hates being here right now, if I'm being very honest. That was the vibe I got. Like the way his body language was, his answers.
Well,
he just looked uncomfortable and like he didn't want to be here. If I'm
He's not moving off his stance. Like,
Yeah.
what do you expect?
But,
I, by the way, Kyle, I mean,
Jimmy
you had
looked
said
like
this
he was watching Terry play. I'm sorry.
I
I could not agree more. And when I said uncomfortable and like he didn't want to be here, that's exactly what I meant.
I mean, Kyle, you had said that you thought it felt awkward and uncomfortable. I actually didn't feel that from the team at all. I thought that it looked like everything was working fine. I actually didn't think the vibes were that bad. I didn't think anybody forced anything.
No.
I thought that we might have a situation where, especially after Jimmy first possession, posts up Westbrook, gets absolutely nothing. I thought, are they just gonna like force feed him every time down the floor? And that wasn't the case at all. And I was pleasantly surprised.
I think one of the things that maybe it was just me. It's two things. One, I feel like Denver was the wrong team to be playing against with this whole thing. This is, like if you're not on your A game and you reinsert, I don't want to call Jimmy a problem because he's not a problem. He's a person. However, he is the cause for some of the weird discomfort on the team. And granted, we don't know these guys directly, so we haven't talked to them directly. However, there was a difference in the way that they played on this road trip and pretty long road trip. And then here, I mean, there were some things here, but there wasn't a lot to like jump out of your seat for in this particular game. I just felt like everything felt awkward from the perspective that, like, for instance, the crowd really barely got into the game.
Did you see the way they played? God damn, what were you
It felt weird even in the first 2 quarters. And I felt like they're, if you're gonna cheer, or at least there's something to cheer for. I think they had some plays where I thought there was gonna be some more engagement, and it was just kind of like, eh. Now, what I'm gonna say, and I'm typically the last person on this pod to even remotely do this, but I want to take all of Terry's things out of the locker room and dump them outside.
Yes!
I need to dump them outside. Here's my thing. I watched, and here's my thing. Where's not a 3-point specialist yet, right? That's not what I'm saying. But he was standing wide open at the top, like right there. He was right there. And he took a step back. And I was like, bruh. I wanted to flip a table. Like, I just could not understand what the hell I was watching. I was like, dude, you have somebody wide open. Are you blind? Are you stupid? Like, I wanted him pulled off. Like, you could have just walked to the locker room and we could have played 4-on-5 for the rest of the night, and I would have been perfectly fine with it.
I like that every night.
What
Not
type
my
of
point guard.
basketball IQ? Like, I felt like Mark. Think. I'm like, dude, Terry, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, I could not believe what I just
Put it in reverse, Terry.
Like, and granted, this isn't his first bonehead play. We've been talking about this, but tonight, this pissed me off a freaking cliff. I was like, bro, what type of idiotic, like, who do you think you are? What type of burner do you hit 1 3? You hit 1 daggone 3. You're like 2 for freaking 17 in the last 6 games or something. What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, if there was a comeback happening, you burnt it. You burn it. You took a match, you poured kerosene, and you lit it on fire. And I know we're called the Heat, but you do the opposite of heater. Like, it pissed me off. I was like, dude.
Hey, Terry. Hey,
What
Moose,
that,
Moose.
Lou, what was
Yeah,
that
I'm
tweet?
just gonna say-
What was that tweet? And it's like they should have put Terry to put out the California Fires.
They
He'd
should have
always
left
be
him out
stopping
there
the Heat.
because he's the only thing stopping the Heat. They should have left him in LA.
Bro. Hey,
I fucking
Moose,
lost it.
all I gotta say is, are you upset with the Terry minutes? Because part of me
Every
is.
minute of
Oh, Moose!
I said
Moose
it.
is
I
like
said
Terry
it.
comes in, drip drop.
No, what do you fucking? Thanks for listening
Don't
to
you
your
want
own
them
pod,
to
by
tank?
the way.
Don't you want them to lose
Well,
games?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, but I can't say that on air. Shut the fuck up. Listen. But I said it on the last pod. Anytime I see Terry take the step back, I'm just like, kill yourself. Like, I hate it. It
Jesus,
ruins.
we don't condone that. No, we don't.
Ruins the vibe for me.
Take
But
him
I
out.
just wanted to
Take
say.
him out.
I just wanted to say really quickly, because I want to give some credit. I want to give some credit to someone that is new to the team, Kyle. Congratulations. That's the most emotion I've heard from you in any pod that you've done. That was awesome. I'm so
And
glad.
it came at the expense of Terry Rozier.
But it needed
Terry
to
finally
happen.
brings out the good
It
in people.
needed to happen because Terry he just brings it out of you. That number 2 is just it's
nails on chalkboard. Nails on chalkboard. He plays nails on chalkboard basketball. Like, you don't want to see him dribble. No, like,
But
layup.
did you see his stats?
I don't even want to see him in the line. I don't
He
want to
had
see
a
him in the line.
He had probably his best game all year today. That's what somebody's gonna push that agenda
Hey,
somewhere.
Lou, I wiped my ass with counting stats.
Oh no, but he had 13, 7, and 5 in 24 minutes. He needs to play more.
He can go fuck himself. Which
He-
the other thing that was annoying, Brian, was they were strapped for defense. They don't play Highsmith more minutes, and they fucking play Rozier a ton of minutes. And I'm like, what's going on here?
I mean, I don't know what to do. Like, in terms of how to fix their mess until they trade Jimmy. Like, they need to get until they trade Jimmy. I think they're not going to be able to fix any of the issues that's going on defense. There's nobody on the roster that's going to come save the day. You lost Drew Smith for the rest of the year. What else do you got?
That's so
kind of right.
depressing.
That's
the most depressing thing you've ever said in your entire life. We lost Drew Smith. There goes the season. Like, get the fuck out of
Brian,
here.
do you
I would
remember
ask out too, Jimmy.
Brian, do you remember that? Do you remember that tweet from like a day ago? And it was like, "This team's a Jimmy Butler and a Drew Smith away."
I have a question.
There's also one guy on Twitter that keeps tweeting. He's like, we gotta wait till Jay Rich is healthy till we know about this team.
I forgot he existed. What's he doing?
Is he even
Doing his
cashing-
role. Doing his
Cashing
role.
checks. Cash and checks, yeah.
Cash
I
and
have a
checks.
genuine question for Brian, though, if I may, because he's the capologist and all that. Brian, let's say
No more on-air
hypothetically-
math, please.
Oh God.
Let's
No-
say
no on-air math.
hypothetically you were the Miami Heat GM. What kind of trade would you make? What would you do with Jimmy?
Hold on.
Oh, I'm glad you
I'm
asked.
setting you up. Yeah, I'm setting you up.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Come on.
So I'm playing a role as the Miami Heat GM right now on a Discord.
Don't need the backstory. What
Is
trade
it
would you
Dis-
make?
Okay. The trade I made, I already made a trade. So it only took me 3 days of being in this league to make a trade for Jimmy Butler. I fielded several offers. Phoenix came after me. They wanted to
Screenshot.
somehow trade me Zach LaVine in a 3-team deal where they sent Bradley Beal out. I'm like, I don't want Zach LaVine's contract. Get the fuck out of my face. And then I talked to a couple other teams. What was one of them? Philadelphia. They wanted to offer me Paul George straight up for Jimmy Butler. I'm like, I don't fucking want his contract either. And then the Golden State Warriors came after Jimmy Butler, and they wanted to trade me not one first-round pick, but a first-round pick and 2 pick swaps. I'm like, all right, what else can I get from you? And they were like, you know what? Let's give you Jonathan Kuminga. I'm like, okay. And Andrew Wiggins like, I don't want Andrew Wiggins' contract. Andrew Wiggins' contract goes past 25-26. We got to get him somewhere else. Called my good friend from the Raptors. The Raptors wanted their Canadian brother back on their roster. This is a trade. No, that's not the trade I made. I want to make that one, though. We're almost there.
Holy
this is
shit,
great.
get to it,
Moose,
bro.
Moose,
Oh my God.
Moose, you
I was
made
trying to
the
set-
worst mistake. We were having such a good
He was
show.
asking for it the entire night. I was trying to set him up. All I wanted was for him to say the fucking trade, and he still gave us the entire backstory. By the way, Levitard was right. The most boring thing anyone can talk about is their own fantasy team.
All right, well,
Just
I'll
me
cut
what
it up.
you got for Jimmy.
I traded Jimmy for Jonathan Kuminga, Kelly Olynyk. He's back, by the way.
Love it.
Bruce Brown. He's now a Heat player, which he probably should have been
Love
here a
it.
few years ago, but now he's back.
Culture.
Back in Miami, but not obviously for the Heat.
Oh my
for
God, I
first
don't
time
need
in
the
league.
extra
Anyway.
stuff. Just tell me the player's name.
And then I got a 2025 top 5 protected first round pick from the Golden State Warriors that becomes unprotected in 2026 if it doesn't convey. But if it does convey, the
We like
next
that.
2 available pick swaps with Golden State are the Heat's.
Yes,
Meaning, because Miami also still has those pick swap situation. Yeah, that's the trade. But essentially, Miami's probably
Why
going
don't
to
you
have a
just read? Why don't you
2026
just read that? Why don't you just read that?
2026 pick swap and a 2028 pick swap coming Miami's way. That means the year that Jimmy Butler and Stephen Curry are done with their contracts in Golden State, Miami's got a pick swap Golden State when they're probably going to be bad.
I think it's
That's
been
awesome.
really funny that the
And I'm not
Utah-
even done yet because that trade's not finalized. I can aggregate those contracts, and right now I'm going after Anthony Davis, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Kevin Durant. In
I
fact,
think-
Kevin Durant's agent told me that he would sign with Miami next offseason.
To the listeners, I am so sorry that I brought us here.
It is
So sorry.
Moose. It's so funny because the Twitch audience loves this and the YouTube audience hates it.
Yeah.
And it's funny because we're getting both sides of it, and the Twitch audience is like, "Let him cook." And
Orlando
the
wants to
YouTube
trade me a
audience-
first and
the
Jet
YouTube
Howard
audience
for
is just
for
saying-
Khalil Ware, and I said no.
You just said a lot of nothing.
Was that a bad deal?
By the way, all of this, and it's a fake league. Like, none of this is real. We're talking about something that's never going to happen.
It's just
We're
pure
never
love
gonna
of the
get AD.
game. It's pure love of the game shit.
Oh, my God. Can we wrap this up? Are we at 30 minutes?
Hey man, it's a sports business classroom.
And all that to be said for Jimmy Butler to be here past the February 7th trade deadline.
I will be absolutely pissed. In my opinion.
What's
In
going
my
to happen?
opinion.
Would you be joyless?
I will be joyless. Here's my thing. Once a guy asks for a trade, in my head, it's a business. It's a business. So at the end of the day, if a guy asks for a trade, in my opinion, work out that trade, figure out how you're going to get him off the team. You make some deals after that. But when you bring him back, in my opinion, this is my opinion. It's not fact. It's not gospel. When you bring him back, you bring back whatever caused the problem in the first place. So to me, this issue, to Moose's point, is going to continue to be an issue while he's on the team. I'm not the type of person who feels you just trade people just to trade people. But this is not going to get better. he's not getting younger. And Terry's still on this team, so that's a whole other thing. I don't know
I
how you
really
get rid
like
of him,
this
but
new
he's
heel
got to
turn
go.
from
Yeah.
Kyle.
Kyle, to your point, I hate the whole like Spo not being able to answer these questions from the media about the whole Jimmy situation. Like they're trying to diffuse it, like it's not an issue anymore. Like, blam, he's back now. There's nothing wrong with Jimmy Butler being back on the team. He's a starter. Like we're back to the good old days from 2020. Like that's not the case.
And that's not human.
Nothing's
That's not human
changed. The
behavior.
contract
That's not human
situation's still the
behavior.
same. It's not like he
Like-
signed a secret extension with Mickey Harrison 2 days ago. Like what's changed?
The only thing that's changed is that it's a week later. That's literally it. Not
The
a
only thing that's
damn
changed is that he's been
thing has
suspended for
changed.
7 games. He lost almost $2 million of his paycheck.
Who's gonna be
That's
happy
the
about
only
that?
that's changed.
Okay, if you go to work after being suspended and they took your check and you go back there and it was like, hey, it's so good to see you back. Half of us are gonna say screw you because I just lost money. So this whole like, oh well, you know, it's wonderful and hunky dory. I was with the guys. No, actually, these people took $2 million from me, and so I'm gonna be annoyed. Now, can he say that to me? Hey, these people took $2 million from me. I'm annoyed. No, but he's gonna be annoyed. So that's what happens when you take money from players. Suppose your former star player, who's not getting any.
Oh, he still is their star player. He's not former yet.
I don't know who Van Lee is.
He won't be
but-
former either. Jimmy's gonna be here. We're gonna be a
Saucy.
playing team. Like, I'm sorry, guys.
Hey man,
Thank you.
he bulls
I'm
part
sorry.
three.
Like-
He
like,
bulls
we
playing
can- we
part
can-
3, baby.
I'm sorry. I'm
Here's-
sorry.
okay,
We're
I'm
gonna be a
playing this.
playing team. God knows if we're gonna make it in. It's not gonna fucking matter. We're gonna be a first round exit. And congratulations,
Listen,
there's your
this
Miami
fucking
Heat.
go,
Like,
Lou.
I
This
got
fucking
my
go.
feet kicked up because I've already seen this shit before.
Look.
Like, we're not fucking trading him. You think Pat's gonna trade him to get a pick? You know what he's gonna do if he trades him? We're gonna get fucking bad contracts
No one's
because
gonna
that's
trade a
what
pick
Pat
for him.
does.
Nobody's
lately.
gonna trade a pick for him.
No,
Brian's
nobody's
gonna
gonna
get a
trade
deal
him.
before Pat does. I'll tell you.
By
that.
the way, listen, this is
I
how it's
already
gonna go, Lou. They're gonna lose the playing game to the Pistons, and then they're gonna play the Bulls for the second playing game. For the third time,
Again?
we're gonna have Jason Pat on for the
G,
third
right now they
straight
have to play
year
the Bulls
to do
first
another
and then
preview
the
show.
Pistons, G.
Huh?
Right now they have to play the Bulls first and then the Pistons.
But no,
'cause they're
but by the
ninth
end of the
seed.
year, we know how this is gonna go.
Are you sure about that? Have you seen this team that we put
Pistons
together?
are pretty good.
I actually don't think this team's as bad as it was last year. I think this team is
No,
better.
it's
and
not. It's not. It's just
and I gotta be honest with you, like
That's
they,
not saying much, guys.
I
And I
totally
know-
disagree.
That's what
I totally
think-
disagree. And
look,
I'll tell you
just
why.
Terry
Because you don't have
Rozier
a bot
makes
in
us worse.
Jimmy.
Huh?
No, but
Yeah.
how are you going to say that
Yeah.
you have a better team when you don't have a bot in Jimmy?
'cause they were-
At
they
least
were
last
horrible
year, Jimmy wasn't totally bought in, but you know what? He was still here to play. This year, Jimmy is not bought in at all, okay? And that was always going to be the problem. Fucking Dwayne Wade said it himself. You're either in or you're out. And as cliche as that sounds, it's the fucking truth, especially when you're dealing with the
Listen,
Miami Heat.
at
So
the end
this
of the
was
day,
inevitable.
They're 2 games out of 5.
they are. I mean,
It's
Stop
not-
that shit. Last
no,
year they finished
no,
1 game out of
no,
4.
no.
Okay,
I'm
no,
not
but
doing that.
what-
Stop
okay,
hope
what I'm-
trapping.
what I'm
dude.
The
telling
team
you-
sucks.
no,
Guys,
They're not
the
that good.
team
They're
is
not that
so
good.
fucking bad.
They're
It's
not that good.
unbearable. This whole season is unbearable. The
Last year
only
was
good,
worse. Last
the
year was
only
worse.
no, it fucking
Yes, it was.
wasn't.
Yes,
The
it was.
only joy from this season is the fact that we have some glimpse of growth from Nico. Where has progressed? Jaime, where are you, my good sir? I am still waiting. We left him in Los
All-star.
Angeles.
He had a
We
game.
have Tyler's been good, but everything else, like Bam's
good.
regression, sucks. Jimmy and this whole scenario, trash. Terry, abysmal. Like I can't even think of a worse word for abysmal. That's how fucking bad he's been. Like
Abominations.
we don't have a 2026 overall first round pick because we traded that shit too. Like this whole fucking team is in the gutter, and they're trying to sell you that everything is fine. They can flip Jimmy for a win now. We can't win now with Jimmy. We're not getting something better back from that fucking trade. Stop it. Stop it.
I love it. Draft me, draft me, draft me, draft me,
Motherfucking
draft me, draft me, draft me, draft me. Hear my fucking song.
Hey, at least we got the vice jerseys back.
Chat says this is how the LA Fire started. Too much heat.